Well, hello there. I'm Lance, and welcome to Dozing Off. Dozing Off is a podcast where I'm going to read you to sleep. I'll narrate short stories and classic literature in a deep and relaxing tone to allow you to put your overactive mind at ease and doze off. Tonight's story is a little selfish, and I apologize for that. For those that like to get into nature, travel to the beach, travel to the mountains, you'll know this feeling of peace when you're staring over an overlook or watching the waves or listening to the animals. That's the purest form of peace, in my opinion. And I'm having this thought because I'm planning a trip to the Smoky Mountains. And I thought, how good would that imagery be for a sleep story tonight? So we're going to take a break from the classic literature tonight. And you're going to join me for a night in the Smoky Mountains. I hope you know how much I appreciate you for making dozing off a part of your bedtime routine. Alright? Fluff up that pillow. Pull the comforter up. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Because here we go. A night in the Smoky Mountains. The day had quietly slipped away behind the blue ridges of the Smoky Mountains, leaving the valleys painted in soft shades of silver and violet. The last songbirds of the evening had settled into the trees, and a gentle hush spread through the forest like a comfortable blanket. We stand on the porch of a small wooden cabin among towering hemlocks and ancient oaks. This cabin sits high on the hillside where mountains rolled away in endless waves, fading into the distance beneath a veil of blue mist. The air is cool and clean. It carried the faint scent of pine needles, damp earth, and wood smoke from a neighboring cabin hidden somewhere beyond the trees. Far below, a creek murmured over smooth tones. The sound drifted upward through the forest, steady and calm, like a quiet conversation between the mountains and the water. You've settled into a rocking chair on the porch and watched as the twilight deepened. One by one, the stars began to appear. At first, there were only a few. A bright star above the western ridge. Another hanging over a distant valley. Then dozens more emerged from the darkening sky until countless points of light stretched overhead. The mountains themselves seemed to grow softer as night arrived. Their outlines blurred gently into the darkness, leaving only the impression of their presence. Ancient, steady, patient. The Smokies have stood there for millions of years, weathering storms and seasons, watching rivers carve valleys and forests rise and fall. But tonight, they seemed content simply to rest beneath the stars. Your rocking chair moves slowly, back and forth, back and forth. The rhythm matched the sounds of the creek, the rustle of leaves, that distant call of an owl. Everything around you seems to settle into a peaceful harmony. After a while, you notice a trail leading away from the cabin. Moonlight filtered through the trees, illuminating the path with a pale silver glow. It looked so inviting. The forest felt calm, almost welcoming, like you're supposed to be here. You rise from the chair and follow that trail. The ground beneath your feet is soft, with fallen needles and moss. Ferns line the path, their delicate fronds shining faintly in the moonlight. Every step carries you deeper into the woods. Yet, there was nothing unsettling about this darkness. The Smoky Mountains hold a special kind of night, a gentle night, a night where shadows felt softer rather than sharp, a night where every sound belonged exactly where it was. The trail winds between enormous trees whose trunks had stood for centuries. Some were so wide that it would take several people holding hands to reach around them. The moonlight slipped through gaps in the canopy above, creating patches of silver light that drifted across the forest floor. As you walk, the sound of the creek grows louder. Pretty soon, you arrive at its edge. The water flows smoothly between moss-covered stones. Moonlight danced across its surface. Tiny ripples carry reflections of stars downstream. You sit on a smooth rock beside the water and listen. The creek never hurries. It simply moves along at its own pace. Around fallen branches, over polished stones, through narrow channels worn into the earth over countless years. The sound is so soothing. It's endless. It's like nature's own lullaby. You watch the water for a while and notice something different drifting along the current. At first, it looks like a leaf, but then another appeared, and another. Tiny little lights. Huh, it's fireflies. Dozens of them floated above the creek, glowing softly as they drifted among the trees. Their golden lights reflected on the water like scattered stars. They move without urgency, blinking, glowing, fading, returning again. The fireflies seem to know something that we don't. They seem to know the secrets of the night. Secrets carried through generations of summer evenings beneath mountain skies. You follow their gentle dance as they drift deeper into the forest. The trail beside the creek continued onward. Curious, you walk alongside the water. The forest opens into a small meadow. Moonlight spills across tall grasses that sway gently in the night breeze. This meadow feels almost magical. A quiet clearing among the mountains. Fireflies floated above the grasses like tiny lanterns. Wildflowers nodded softly in the breeze. And at the center of the meadow stood a single enormous oak tree. Its branches spread wide across the clearing. Its roots reached deep into the mountain soil. This tree looks ancient, older than memory, older than stories. You walk beneath its canopy and settle against the trunk. The bark is still warm from the day's sunlight. So comfortable. You think about laying on a mattress, but this is a different kind of comfortable. It's steady. Above you, leaves whisper softly. The sound blended with the breeze. The creek, the distant owl, the entire forest seems to breathe together. It's so slow. It's so peaceful. You close your eyes for a moment. When you open them again, the stars appear brighter than before. The sky is stretched endlessly overhead. When there's no city lights nearby, it's like the heavens reveal themselves completely. Thousands upon thousands of stars, clusters, patterns, rivers of light crossing the darkness. You spot a shooting star tracing a silent path above these mountains. Then another. Each one vanished as quietly as it appeared. The mountains beneath the vast sky feel timeless. It's so easy to imagine generations of travelers sitting exactly where you're seated now, watching these same stars, listening to these same sounds, just feeling the same calm presence of the Smokies at night. You start to have that same feeling that we all do when we're in the mountains. How can you ever go back to the city? Where did we go so wrong? Everything here feels so natural, like it's exactly where we're supposed to be. A gentle breeze drifts through the meadow. The grasses sway. The oak leaves rustle. The fireflies continued their slow dance. Everything moves with perfect ease. Nothing's rushed. Nothing's demanding attention. The world seems content simply to exist. After some time, you notice another path leading from the meadow. It climbs gently toward a nearby ridge. The trail looks smooth and easy beneath the moonlight. You follow it upward. The climb's gradual. It's comfortable. The forest remains quiet around you. Soon, the trees began to thin. The trail emerges onto a rocky overlook high above the valley. This view takes your breath away. Layer upon layer of mountains stretched toward the horizon. Moonlight painted every ridge in shades of silver and blue. Wisps of mist drifted through the valleys below. The famous smoky haze lingered among the mountains, even at night. It moved slowly, like clouds resting between the ridges. You can't even describe it. This entire landscape looks peaceful beyond words. You find a flat stone and sit down. The cool rock beneath you feels solid and grounding. The night air brushed gently across your face. Far below, the forest spread in every direction. Millions of leaves, thousands of trees, countless living things resting beneath the stars. Somewhere, a stream flows. Somewhere, the deer moves quietly through a meadow. Somewhere, a fox curls beneath a fallen log. I'd bet even a mountain lion can see you somewhere, but it sees how much you need this, how at peace you are, and it's going to let you have this moment. The mountains held many lives. Yet tonight, everything seemed united by the same calm rhythm. The same quiet stillness. The same peaceful night. You sit for a long while, watching the mist drift through the valleys, watching stars wheel slowly overhead, listening to the gentle sounds carried by the wind. Gradually, your thoughts begin to slow. The concerns of the day feel distant, small, unimportant. The mountains have a way of doing that. Their age and size make everything seem simpler. The only thing that matters in this moment is the cool air, the quiet forest, the moonlit ridges. The steady presence of the Smoky Mountains surrounding you. And as the night deepened, it feels as though the mountains themselves are keeping watch, protecting the valleys, guarding the forests, offering a peaceful place for every creature beneath the stars to rest, including you. The breeze softens. The owl's call grows less frequent. Even the creek seems gentler now. The entire world is settling into sleep. And high among the moonlit ridges of the Smoky Mountains, surrounded by ancient forests and endless stars, you feel perfectly safe, perfectly comfortable, perfectly at peace. Thank you for being here tonight. I think it's time for you and I both to take a trip to nature. What do you think? Sleep well.